In Ideal Cooking in Carla's Kitchen today, we're making quinoa pudding. I got the idea from one of my foodie friends that did it with red quinoa. And I love rice pudding, but I haven't made it for years because it was just so fattening and sweet. And so I haven't bothered to make it, and full of carbs. And so this has got carbs, but they're the good ones because it's quinoa. So I'm excited to test this out. I love this recipe for rice pudding, so I'm guessing that I'll like it with quinoa, but no way to know until I try it out, so we're going to give it a try. So what I've done is start with the skim milk, and I put it in the pan, turned up the heat to medium-high, and I'm going to add the quinoa, dry quinoa. We haven't cooked this yet. And then I'm going to add some salt and a little nutmeg. I'm going to add a cinnamon stick. When I have them, I like to add a cinnamon stick at this stage. If I don't have a cinnamon stick, then I simply add the cinnamon at the end. Just half a teaspoon of cinnamon at the end. Now, the sugar substitute I'm using today is called Truvia. And, my favorite is the summer sweet. But, a lot of people said that's hard to get, it's expensive. So I've been working with some other sweeteners, and I've started to really like this one. I used half a cup. This recipe calls for a cup of sugar, so I'm only using half of the sweetener. Should be plenty. And then the vanilla. And a couple tablespoons of the butter. Okay, so the trick about this recipe, it's a little bit different because it takes a little bit longer, but you cook this for, when it's rice, you cook it for an hour on low heat. So I don't know how long it will take me today. I'm just going to turn the video camera off, and I'll bring it back on when I see it to the consistency, when it's just about done, and do the finishing part to it. Okay, I'm back, and it's just starting to thicken up good. And what I'm going to do is finish this off now and cook it the last little part. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of cups of the quinoa mixture and put it in with the egg. This is so it doesn't, if you just add the egg right into it right now, it would scramble. So I'm just trying to get this egg mixture. So just put a couple tablespoons of half and half in with the egg, 2 eggs. Then I'm going to put those back into the mixture like that. Okay, and we're going to add our raisins. Now I've plumped these up. I don't know if you've tried that before, where you take your raisins and you cover them with water, put them in the microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes, and it plumps them up. Then you drain them off, and they're nice and plump, and I think they're good for recipes like this that you want raisins really plump. And then last, I'm going to add the protein powder, and so we're going to cook that in there. So I'm going to cook this for probably 5 to 10 more minutes. Until it's really thick, and then I've got a 13 by 9 pan I'm going to pour it into and refrigerate it for a few hours. It's a lot better after it gets. Okay, so I ended up cooking it about another 15 minutes after adding the egg and cream to it. And then, as you can see, I just put it in a 13 by 9 pan. And I tasted it, and I like a little bit more cinnamon, so I'm just going to sprinkle the top with cinnamon now. Now we're going to refrigerate this for at least 3 hours and then serve it. In a pan this size, you can get a good 12 servings out of it.